What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Grass the Kid. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Ulysses. It's game number 2 in this best of 5 series. Oh, I love this. How good is this play from Ulysses? He's kind of... Oh, never mind. I thought he blocked this in. Thought he was using the economic guild as a little cheeky thing, as the town center now going to get involved as well. And the elephant does go down. First game going the wayside of Grass with some very, very good set. Ulysses does roll his Oranos in game number 2, so he's going to be really happy about this one, as he's he should be able to find some decent success in this game. Though Grass does get Poseidon, and I think Poseidon gets a little bit of a bad rap in this matchup. I think Poseidon has got all the tools he needs to have success in this matchup. It is challenging, don't get me wrong, but if you know how to play it and you've kind of studied the matchup at a high level, I do feel like you're going to be able to find wins here with Poseidon against Oranos. It's not as cut and dry as I think most players do think it is, and I think that Poseidon finds wins in this matchup more often than not, if everything is done correctly. And I think the most important thing here for the Poseidon player is to understand when to click Ceasefire. That's the big thing. When to click Ceasefire is everything. And we'll see what's going to happen here. As Ulysses is about to drop his mana over here. He doesn't want to get housed. Hopefully he doesn't forget like I do. And he doesn't as he drops that one down. No problems where that's concerned. Dwarven Calipers has been uncovered here. This is a good relic for both players. Reduction in the cost of siege weapons in the wood and gold column. So things like the Cairo Ballista get cheaper, which is really, really big assistance against any sort of mass infantry units that might come for him. He's playing against Poseidon, so mass infantry units aren't 100% likely. But we'll see how things are going to go as now Ulysses moving out onto these zebra over here. Having to eat a elephant here is a blessing and a curse. He has to spend so much time killing this elephant that his food is a little bit lower than normal. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get himself that nice classical age advance time. If he does, he should be probably putting this villager onto a cow here and throwing that temple down as soon as he can. He'll probably be able to find that advance time. But look at this food income from Grass already. He's got the 400 food, eating the elephant in the main base, not going on to his second hunt just yet. His town center's in a bit of an awkward place over here. He doesn't have these cows grabbed just yet on that position. This town center doesn't really have anything near it either. So, and he's got an open gold mine. So I wouldn't be surprised here if Grass is kind of forced into going for a one town center play, which might sound crazy, but it's definitely possible to start out one town center and grab a second town center a little bit later in this matchup as Poseidon if you play it well enough. So we'll see how it's going to go. And the house coming up, and we do see what looks to be here Grass going for a second town center. Generally 6 villages on wood, any more than 5 villages on gold, or 5 villages on gold or more, generally indicates a far second town center. But I don't see that good of a town center on this in this game. 2 elephants super far away here. 3 elephants super far away here. We'll see how things are going to go. Prometheus on the way as well. How late did he click up this Prometheus? It looks like just 1 second late. So it's not bad here for Ulysses in the slightest. Actually, it might have been right on time. I'm not sure. As another relic being uncovered here. Oh, no, not this relic. This relic being uncovered. The Tower of Cestus. Decent relic there for Ulysses to pick up as well. As Grass now pushing in, going to put some pressure onto these resources. And as always, the Oranos player forgets that this is a possibility. And this should never do any damage. You just need 1 Oracle hero and 1 citizen to turn around and shank. That's all you need, and you can defeat this Theseus. The citizens have got 160 HP. The Theseus has got 240 HP. The oracles deal good damage, and you will win the fight. But The oracles are not in position, as we see the Katoskopos now making its way across the map. Villagers moving forward as this is insane. Grass has said, I have no good town centers here. So instead of going for my own back town centers, I'm going to send my villagers forward here and grab this one. Is he sneaking? Does he sneak this? Ulysses at this point, does he see the villagers? He doesn't see them in the slightest here. He's on this position over here. He's on this position over here. He will send some units over here to have to deal with these bad boys, but the town center for Grass is going up right under the nose of Ulysses. Why is he doing it? Well, maybe it's got something to do with 3 elephants being on this town center. That being said, this is a really, really close position to Ulysses' base, so he can put some crazy amounts of pressure onto this position as well. As Shockwave does come down, the Terma heroes and the Momilla heroes will be able to snipe this centaur down. There's no way he gets away, and Grass will have to pull back, but the town center is already up. The deed has been done, so to speak, and Ulysses sees that and he goes, what have I done? How did I allow this? As the elephants underneath this town center getting eaten up is just such a huge advantage. Not only that, the Hippolyta going to be able to push off this hunt as well over the course of this game, basically for free. There is hunt over here. There is hunt over here. Tons of hunt on the map. But Ulysses here, he's going to have to figure out a way forward. So the questions are, does he go for the top town center now? Does he go for 2 town centers on the map somehow? What does he try and do? I like this play. He's trying to drag the elephant away from the town center. Very, very smart here in all honesty, because there is one elephant that will die underneath the town center. But if he picks off both of these ones away from the town center, this does create some problems for Grass. But look at the other side. Look at the other side. There's 3 elephants over here he has to kill as well, as Grass does kind of notice what's happening here as more units coming forward. The other thing here is Grass can throw a wall down over here, cause some problems, get a granary up on this position, and Ulysses here has got to worry about the back elephants as well, as a whole bunch of Hippocon now starting to come out. No barracks down just yet, or military academy down just yet for Grass, which is a bit of a surprise, as Ulysses here has to pull back. He's still pumping units out. No, he stopped the units. He wants to get himself a town center, it seems. How are the economic upgrades going at the moment? He's got himself hand axe. He's got himself pickaxe, in a decent position where that's concerned, as a military academy is indeed attempting to get thrown up on this position. Now, Ulysses will see this. I imagine he's going to be attempting to put a stop to this one. Every little bit does matter, as the villager not getting paid attention, not getting looked after. As the military academy does go down, the villagers moving up here. He could drag this elephant nice and close to the town center, as we'll see what Grass is going to do. Another villager going to move forward and try and get that military academy up. As the units retreating back, these villagers finishing up. These zebra so close to this town center. I'm surprised Grass isn't just laying that Hippolyta into these citizen on repeat here, but we'll see how things are going to go. It's now the villager moving up onto this wood line over here, still pumping units out. He knows this is a very risky town center to grab. He knows that any sort of defender's advantage or whatever goes away, and plus is against Oranos, so the speed matters even more. As Ulysses pushing forward, going to be sniping a villager. They probably could have actually picked that one off, but decides to pull back there instead. Just trying to keep his units nice and healthy, as the villager now coming up to the top town center, going to be grabbing that one for himself, as some Prometheans swinging in here. Does he have alluvial clay? No alluvial clay just yet. Still pumping more of those Prometheans out. He wants those to break down this position, it seems, but he's got to take out the Theseus and he's got to take out the Hippolyta. Otherwise, those Prometheans are just not going to be that useful here, as the villagers happily eating up this position. Grass is housed a little bit. He started the hoplites. He started the Hippocon. He should be getting himself up an archery range here as well, as these villagers will need to get pulled away. As look at that Hippolyta just absolutely annihilate the first Promethean. There will be Promethean offsprings remaining here, as the villagers getting targeted down, and Ulysses is ready to put the pressure on, and Grass says smartly, I'm not ready to take the fight. I don't need to take the fight. I don't want to take the fight. I'm not going to take the fight. As he gives himself a little bit more time here to pump units out. Now, if you do some quick math, in a minute, you can get yourself out of one stable 3 Hippocon in a minute. So that is a total of 6 Hippocon, meaning 18 population. The military academy can get yourself out 4 hoplites, which is 8 population. So, what was it? 16? I can't remember. 18 population. 18 plus 8 population. You should be able to get yourself 24 population here, which should be putting Grass up above Ulysses' population count at the end, or at least equal on the population count here. But we'll see if Grass can actually manage to push those out. He should also be getting himself an archery range down here 100% of the time every time. So we do see a town center coming up for Ulysses. Ulysses is basically saying he needs to stay in the classical age. He needs to put pressure on. He needs to force Grass to take some fights here that he doesn't really want to be taking. As the army pushing forward now, still has to try and take out these heroes as the Hippocons swing around the side, going after those Terma on the back. Just a handful of the Hippocon coming in. Big shockwave onto this position as the Murmillos going after the Hippocon over here. Terma getting some good damage done, but they don't really have anything decent to attack here as the Prometheans slowly getting taken down. Still no alluvial clay onto those Prometheans. Would have been a great upgrade to get great micro there from Grass pulling away, but Ulysses does notice it as he's continuing to take this fight. Grass is still staying at a very solid 100 population as Ulysses is simply put not able to win this fight with any amazing amounts of success. He has gotten relatively equal in terms of population, but he has to pull back for the time being, and he has to find some good fights moving forward here. He's got himself an armory up. He's getting himself these gazelle over here. He can move forward and try and grab this town center as well, but Grass is just enjoying these elephants so nicely. Over here, these elephants have still got plenty of food left in them, even though Ulysses has killed them off. There's plenty of food in them, and I'm sure Grass is simply just going to move his villagers over there at some point and enjoy that as well, as we see Grass now sending villagers potentially to eat these elephants over here as well. Maybe a little bit greedy, but we'll see how it's going to work. Oh, he's going onto this gold mine, so I'd love to see some walls getting set up here just to defend this position. As more villagers coming out, shaft mine going to be coming through for Grass, as well as the Ulysses units pushing forward here. And Ulysses is going to be pulling back for the time being. Shaft mine just about to come through for Grass as well, but he does have maybe too many of these Hippocon here, as it looks like Ulysses can basically go mass Murmillo, and this should be enough for him to be winning these fights most of the time here, because the Murmillo hard counter, well, not hard counter, they soft counter the Hippocon, so they'll win these fights pretty nicely, as Grass is now dropped below Ulysses' economy here. The citizens moving forward, eating these elephant in the center of the map as well, as the unit's still pushing in here, and it does look like Grass needs to retreat back for the time being here as he pulls away. Promethean pushing in here as well. Another military academy going to be coming down for Grass as Ulysses pokes his head in here. 3 villagers getting up another military academy, as Grass has got so many resources in the bank. He just needs to spend them, and that is the only way to spend the resources is by having more military buildings. This is something that you can take away for your own gameplay. Effectively, every single villager you have, if you multiply your military buildings by around about, or your villages, divide your villages by around about 10. Take off the town centers, which is about 5 each. So you take off, if you've got 1 town center, take off 5 villages. If you've got 2 town centers, take off 10 villages. But if you've got, say, 80 villages that you're not building villages anymore, so you can take that away, you should have at least 8 military buildings down to produce yourself the income that you're able to get. As these villagers did decide to come over onto these elephants, but Ulysses notices it. The villagers get pushed back. We do see this town center on the front going up, as all the units are going to be sitting here as well. And Grass is a little bit preoccupied on this position to be defending this one here. And Ulysses can just kind of pull back here if he wants to. But Aphrodite is already coming through, as Ulysses might find himself getting kind of stuck here in this game in the classical age here, whereas Grass is going to be able to start getting himself out of pacifist, which are really, really tough to deal with for a classical age Oranos here. So we'll see if Ulysses can work this one out and get himself to the heroic age as well. He doesn't have the resources. He does have himself the armory, cheeky elephant pack over there as well. He's got himself copper weapons as well, which is going to push those Murmillo to have a bit more advantage in these fights than they otherwise do have. As it looks like Grass is on multiple different gold mines at the moment. Is he getting himself favor? No. It looks like he might be just trying to rush the Mythic Age here. No, get on the Town Center over here. He's got a bunch of hunt on this position as well as on this position here. As Curse does get dropped down here, but the hero citizen is enough. Imagine if that citizen wasn't a hero citizen. He might have lost that one as well. It's relatively low HP. And Ulysses says, thank you very much for the pigs. I will be eating those nicely. As the army pushing through, they say, I see that town center going up. I do not want that town center going up. And Grass not reacting at all to this one. As the army comes through, and he's going to be getting some villager kills here. Is there a shockwave available? Not just yet. As the villagers getting pulled off of here, you see the units swinging around onto this position. As now Grass comes back with his own hoplite army. We see a cheeky little raid onto this gold mine over here, and Artemis already clicked up for Grass. This is such a good position to be in for Grass and Groom, as he's going to be able to earthquake this town center, or earthquake this town center, or earthquake this town center, whichever one he wants, and pick basically everything off. But pushing off this gold mine for the time being is going to hurt Grass quite considerably, as the army now coming back up with the town center being secured. And one thing that I'd love to see Ulysses do is just get himself masons and put buildings around everywhere. But he still hasn't even clicked up to the heroic age, as it seems like Artemis might be finishing first. I can't do that quick math. It's about 45 seconds from 50. And this will be at what, 20%? 20% is about 40 seconds. So Thea comes in just that little bit earlier than Grass and Groom's Artemis, but it's a little bit enough is the big question. As Ulysses' Oranos army coming through here, going to be checking out this gold mine yet again as the villagers coming through here, going to be grabbing those zebra, and the villagers pulling off of this gold mine. We do see the Terma getting some good damage on. Great shockwave here, getting a huge amount of villager kills for the time being. As the army coming back through here, the villagers do get through the wall finally there, as another final villager does fall down. Grass drops down to 67 villagers after all is said and done, as Thayer is now just about to finish up here. Is it actually going to finish first? I don't think it will. It looks like Artemis finishes first here. Anyways, the units are in the middle of the base here, and Ulysses' town center gets removed as Ulysses doesn't want to view it anymore. Did his Thayer get cancelled? I'm not sure. It might have. But Ulysses doesn't even want to try it in this position, realizing he is too far behind, losing this town center and losing everything else because of it. He's probably going to lose all these military buildings, lose some houses as well. This earthquake is so strong at this point in the game. And Grass wins this game up 2-0 here, ladies and gentlemen. Ulysses, I mean, he was just lost in this game. He didn't know what to do. This forward town center here against, like, say, maybe a Zeus who would try this going through Ceasefire. Maybe he finds some success against Zeus making these pushes. But in all honesty, the Ceasefire is just so good. You have to force it somehow early. You have to force it somehow early so you can make that push before the Aphrodite comes in. And I think making all those Terma against a predominantly stable military academy army here was possibly the mistake here for Ulysses. If he just made like maybe a little bit less on the Terma and more Murmillo, or at least actually made some Catapultis here, wouldn't have gone astray either, and just microed them really well in the fights onto the Hippocon, he probably would have found some more success in these fights, and Grass would have been having a bit more of a struggle. But he just wasn't able to get any real damage done. He ignored the main base completely, where there was potentially some places to raid, like the wood line, like the gold mine, and everything else. And he just couldn't make it work here. And in more sad news here, unfortunately, there is no Game 3 in this series. I believe Ulysses did decide to forfeit after falling in this game, maybe too heavy on the mental, didn't want to continue. Ulysses definitely has the potential to make a comeback here, a reverse sweep, but he decided to forfeit in this one, and we only get 2 games against these players. It's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.